What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We back with some more SABATON. This time we checking out Great War, and it looks like this is the song's about the First World War in general, the horrors, modern techniques and tactics, and the differences with other conflicts. So they're probably going to be talking more in a general sense here. So let's go ahead, shut up, and turn it up, baby. Oh, we got some behind the scenes type of action here. That's awesome. Before it even goes in, just something, it's related, I promise. But I was at this bar last night, and I haven't been in a bar in forever, but it was a bar that catered more to live performances than it did to music that's just playing over the radio. And one thing that or over the speaker, and one thing that I saw was a guy that was just walking around, and he was checking levels and everything, and he was EQing stuff. And I'm a intermediate producer right now, so I'm used to seeing that type of stuff in like a DAW or digital audio workstation, but I completely forgot that those type of same principles apply to live music as well. You got somebody EQing everything, make sure the highs aren't too high, the stuff too low. But one thing that I noticed, and this is where the relation comes in, was how much a part of that process that the band is, right? To all that great sounds and everything that we hear whenever we hear a performer comes live, how much of an impact that the artist has. You know, I always thought that the artist, for the most part, kind of just delegated that to like a music producer or musical audio engineer, and they just go in and preset everything, and the artist just kind of walk up on stage getting ready to perform. Now that very well may be what happens to some artists, but I find that especially in the metal or rock is that they're very much a part of that behind the scenes process, making sure everything sounds absolutely tight. They take the realms of that into their own hands instead of relying too much on the audio engineer. At least that's in my experience. So seeing this, you know, kind of reinforces, you know, what I think about that whole process, which is pretty cool. Okay, back to it. Now, I know this looks like a rehearsal, but still.
We're dim in lies, I'm paralyzed, my brother's eyes are gone, and he shall be buried here, nameless marks his grave. Mother home, get a telegram and shed a tear of grief. Mud and blood in foreign land, trying to understand. Where is this greatness all been told? This is the lies that we've been sold. Is this a worthy sacrifice? Great war, and I cannot take more. Great war, I keep on marching on. I play the great score. There will be no encore. Great war, the war to end all wars.
So I'm sure that there probably is an actual like music video that you know, to this. I'm not really too sure. This is kind of what I found, but it looks like to be more of a behind the scenes kind of showing, you know, the SABATON, like the group outside of what we see on the stage and everything. But if that's the case, that's fine. I'm actually glad that I'm reacting to this one because I like seeing all those behind the scenes stuff. Interesting what they're saying, right? Great war, there will be no encore, asking where is this greatness and stuff that I was promised. And even in the title called Great War, right? Great score, great march, great in front of these things. And that has got me thinking that sometimes when it goes to war, all these type of honeyed words that you are told, right? The ultimate sacrifice and everything that you're making and whatnot, like and it's very no disrespect to those who have sacrificed and everything. But I'm just kind of thinking about all the preparation and stuff, all the mentality that they get you in before you go over there and, you know, and do your heroic deeds and everything. But when Joachim started bringing up like that question, like what am I doing here? It just gets me to think how often that question is asked, right? For those who were either, you know, swayed to kind of go over there and believe that they were fighting for a good cause, only to kind of regret those actions like at the very, very last minute. And that's kind of disheartening and sad to think about, you know? So, and I think that's kind of like what they're getting at, or at least one of the things that they're getting at. It's like, what am I doing here? Is this what I was promised right here? Because I feel like I'm being sacrificed and not for the greater good, you know? So, especially when we sit here and we think about the resolutions that has come from wars, right? Whether it be small or big.
I'm standing here, I'm full of fear, with bodies at my feet. Over there in the other trench, bullets will my name. Lead ahead, as the captain said, and show them no remorse. Who am I to understand? What have I become?
They've made you into an instrument of death.
My duties pay the price. I do the worthy sacrifice. I know my deeds are not in vain. Great war, and I cannot take more. Great war, I keep on marching on. I play the great score. There will be no encore. Great war, the one to
I know a solo is coming. So great. Well, I know there will be no encore, right? That's some powerful stuff right there. Meaning that, you know, wherever you're going, you get that feeling that you're marching to your death. That's what they mean by there may be no encore. But it makes, you know, it kind of makes sense because a great score as in a score sheet like music. So they're playing a great amount of music. But there wouldn't be no encore, which is a double here. There won't be no encore as far as the music being played, or there will be an encore, but to you it's not going to be one because this may be the very last time you hear it, right? So there'll be no encore, as in this might be the very last time that you're alive, that you may not be making this trip anymore. Like, I like that. You know, they have a very good way with words.
then feet by feet will be the place of the mile.
Oh, name of one of their songs.
We see heroes rise. We face the heat as we are fighting until the dawn. So follow me and we will write our Odysee.
Oh, it picked up. Okay. Modulation, okay, or is an octave higher. You know, and another thing that Sabaton does a great job, especially when we're talking about this and it's kind of sung or you know sung in a more general sense, is they do a pretty good job at telling both like the fearful side, and at the same time and sometimes in the same song a more uprising, right? Because that's kind of like, because you guys saw you heard my thoughts at the beginning, what I was thinking, but then it's like it kind of switched from, you know, what am I fighting for, to you know, we know our lives are not going to be in vain. You know what I mean? I like that. It's kind of like that contrast where it's like, yeah, you know, there's been some confusion, there's been some questions and everything. But at the end of the day, you know, I hope, or I believe, right, at the very least, that everything that I'm doing will not be in vain. Right. So, but I still stand by the whole honeyed words and everything, and the grandstanding, if that's a word that is told sometimes. But again, I could just be completely ignorant. I have not served, and of course, I have the deepest respect for people who have served. The closest thing I have to any type of military experience is family members that's been in. I believe, especially my grandpa. Yeah, he served for quite a minute. Well, quite a while. My grandpa, I have another grandpa. I have a lot of grandpas. Great. I have one great grandpa that served, and my late stepdad served. You know what I mean? I didn't get the chance to hear any stories or anything, but my grandpa is still alive, and this song has just made me probably want to go and ask him some stuff about his stories. It'd be kind of cool if I can get him like on this channel and everything and say, hey, could you talk about like your war experiences? That would be pretty cool, right? That's only if he's comfortable. You guys let me know if that's something that you would like to see, because I think that's something he was sitting from. Like, I just interview him and ask him about like war stories and everything. But anyways, I feel like that might be of some interest, right? People who are watching this reaction, you obviously love SABATON. And then if you wasn't a war buff, you probably are now. So I think that would be of some interest. I might have to look into that. Anyways, that's the end of this story. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and reaction. Dave's out.